Hello and welcome to GrindslimeTV with me, your host Aaron. And today it is, of course, B-Side Saturday. Oh yes, where we go through some of the things I've been listening to this week that I haven't shown on camera yet. So, first of all, we've got a few things here, so not too bad. Some of this stuff has been featured on the channel before, so we'll probably do those bits first, get them out of the way like, but you know, I'll be brief. With those ones, we've got a few down there as well that I don't think I've had on the channel before, so let's get into it. So, first of all, let's get this old bad boy out. It's been one of those weeks when I felt like having a little bit of an old school feel about the place. So I started jamming, of course, the EP that is Boom, Celtic Frost's Morbid Tales. Fantastic stuff, absolute banger. There they are on the back there, looking heterosexual as all hell. Look at little Tom at the end. But yeah, cool stuff there. This also has the extra tracks on it from Emperor's Return, but only Circle of the Tyrant's Visual Aggression and Suicidal Winds, because obviously Dethroned Emperor and Morbid Tales is already on the first disc. Different recordings though. So yeah, you don't get the new re-recordings from the Emperor's Return on here. It's kind of a shame because, you know, they're great, but they didn't want to repeat any songs, so can't really have a moan at that, can you? Pretty cool. Got all your credits and whatnot. You got all your lyrics and things. You got some cool artwork there. You got the Emperor's Return artwork, some of the greatest artwork ever made. The live pictures. Yeah, well, there they are, the Emperor's Return photo shoot as well. A little bit of story time stuff going on. Then, yeah, pretty much that kind of stuff going on. Really cool. I dig it. Rest in peace, Martin Haynes, over there, look. But yeah, absolute essential stuff. Very sort of definitely got some crust kind of influences behind it, as you all know, like the old Hellhammer and Celtic Frost. You know, they've always been quite open about being into like Discharge and a lot of those sort of UK bands and whatnot, but also, of course, traditional metal bands and stuff, and Venom and whatnot. So, yeah, definitely one of the most unique sounding bands that people have managed to rip off really, really well, and keep on doing it, I say. Like, they had the formula. You know, listen to a song like The Shadow of the Haunts by Darkthrone. Pure death fucking Celtic Frost worship. I've gotta love it. Gotta love it. I mean, look at Obituary. They made an entire career out of just ripping off at Celtic Frost, and they'd be the first to tell you. Now, next we've got another CD here. This is one of course I've shown on the channel before, as mentioned, and it's an absolute banger. It is Instruments of Torture by Brodequin. Absolute brutal death metal classic. This was so it originally came out in 2000. This was the 2023 Season of Mist reissue, which I was very, very happy to see come out, because I was after this bad boy for fucking ages, and the only way to get it was really well I could find was either paying through the nose for a CD, which I wasn't willing to pay, and I'm talking stupid prices as well, or it was like tapes that had been like bootlegged and stuff, and I like a bootleg and everything, but it was just, again, there was a sort of prices that were just sort of silly as well. So when this eventually came out again, I was pleased as punch. And got your fanciness in there as well. Really cool stuff here. Iconic drumming. No arguing with that. The old Bailey boys doing their thing. So you've got Jamie Bailey and Michael Bailey. Oh, and who else we've got on here? And oh yes, and Chad Walls on the drums on this one. So, but phenomenal stuff. The man just doesn't stop. Got some more medieval sort of stuff going on the back there, as they like their medieval sort of torture in history themes. which I think is really cool. But you also get a couple of really cool bonus tracks on here. You get a song, the Garrot, but you also get a cover of Dead Infections from the Anatomical Beeps as well, which is always cool, which is the opening track from a chapter of Accidents, as I'm sure most of you know. And those of you who don't, you know now. So, welcome to the Cool Club. Alright, coming up next, we've got this bad boy. I wouldn't normally do all the CDs, but this is another one I've already shown on camera, so I thought I'd get it done out of the way. And we've pretty much talked about it already, but we're going to talk about it again because I listened to it, and any excuse to show off that fantastic artwork once again. Yeah, look at that, Emperor's Return by Celtic Frost. And you've got the old Vincent Laveri artwork on the front there. Full on, look at it. Look at it. Some of the greatest artwork of all time. There's the photo we saw earlier, but that was the black and white version. That was the colour one. Really, really cool stuff. It's one of the greatest EPs of all time. Don't care what anyone says. You got your lyrics, as you can see on that side there. And it was it Vince Laveri or Phil Laveri? I'm fucking terrible with names, as I'm sure you know. Yeah, Phil Laveri. Yeah, Phil. But yeah, so really, really cool stuff there. And I know how you kids like to see your colourful stuff. So let's have a look here. We've got the sort of splatty smush green and black, which looks kind of cool. You know, not too bad. That side's got a bit more of the green stuff on it. I completely missed that side there, and on that side. Oh, must have been that guy's first day at the plant. Put the puck on Wonky. You silly, silly, stupid bastard. But, I mean, I prefer a normal black LP. And this would have looked awesome on black as well, but it is what it is. You get what you get. So, absolute cracking stuff there. I always wanted to have that on vinyl, so because, like I say, I've got the Morbid Tales compilation thing, but it was like, I just wanted this really just to have on 12 by 12, and it actually gets spun a hell of a lot as well because those other two recordings are on here. And if I'm just having like a light workout or something, then I'll be like, oh mate, just throw this bad boy on. And I've got myself a good 20 minutes there. So yeah, well away, all about that. So absolute classic. And of course, it did come with a poster as well. But as you guys, those of you who have been around a little longer on the channel, you'll know that that's on my wall over there from the old backdrop. Oh yes. So yeah, of course. So what do you guys think of the one I've been using so far with this sort of stuff behind me? Should I go back to the posters? Should I stick with this? Mix it up a bit? Who knows? I could even move it around another way and try and get the other posters in the background of the guitars. That might look pretty cool. We'll stick for this for a while, but what do you guys think? You let me know. Now, we're moving on to the stuff that I don't think I've shown any of this stuff on camera before. That one I definitely haven't, because I've not had that one very long. But before we get into that one, we'll go into this one. And absolute classics all round. We're talking Severed Records. We're pushing out the brutal death metal stuff, and it's the classic brutal death metal stuff as well. We are talking about Stab Wound Intercourse by Gorgasm. Oh yeah, it's a naughty one. Absolute belter, and it comes with the untitled demo from 1996 as well. So absolutely brilliant stuff there. And of course, I mean, you get to hear Horrendous Rebirth twice. I mean, that's never a bad thing, is it? That part with the bass, you know the bit I'm talking about. The melody, sort of, or harmony sort of thing going on. But a bit of both, isn't it? So you got your lyrics there, look. Very, very cool stuff. You get your cheers, thanks, and fuck offs on that side. And whatnot, your credits and shit. And a typical sort of old school brutal death metal, there's a whole section for bands, which is something I really, really sort of I dig that. And I remember, like, in this sort of like early to mid noughties with brutal death metal, it was all all the rage to just have a huge section where you would just shout out all your friends' bands and like bands that you loved and stuff like that. And yeah, it was really, really cool. Whereas these days, I find a lot of the time it's just people sucking each other off. They're like, oh yeah, thanks to my buddy over in this band that no one's going to know about in 5 years because they're fucking shit or whatever. And then, you know, because they sort of ponce gigs off each other and they're like, oh, we've got to make sure we put them in our album cover. Remember, he put shows on. It weren't like that in my day. I'm sure there were some that were like that, but this was just like a whole entire list. They were like, yeah, my mum, my dad, girlfriend, my kids, but fucking look at all these bands. But so yeah, really cool stuff. And this is your sort of classic, sort of just straight up sort of groovy, blasty, you know, fasty, nasty. Got all your sort of stuff going on there, and they're very much like, not very much like Brodequin, but they are very much like them in the fact that they've got their own kind of flavour. Like, you know, Gorgasm when it's on, it's got that kind of like you put on Brodequin, it's like, yeah, we're not getting that confused with anybody. Same with Gorgasm, they've got that sort of thing going on where it's like it's just their sound, and obviously I prefer the older stuff because that's generally the rule of thumb with most things I find, but Gorgasm, in my opinion, haven't put out anything bad. You know, I haven't got all their stuff by any stretch, but I've got like I said, I've got the demo on it and whatnot. This being their first EP and everything, but I've also got like one of their latest EPs. They I got it last year. It was last year it came out, wasn't it? That was it. Yeah, Sadakist. Yeah, that was it. Little free tracker. I think it's like 3 songs off of the album or something. But yeah, I grabbed that and I was like, yeah, this is really cool. You know, it's very different to this sort of sound, I think, on the whole, but you can still tell it's Gorgasm in there. It's like, yeah, got that sort of thing going on, but old school Gorgasm for me, always the way to go. This with like a dominate to masticate and stuff like that, cannot go wrong. Which I've also got, actually. I should probably get that out and spin that this week, so that might be on next week's fucking B-side Saturday. And if it's not, you bloody remind me in those comments and be like, where's the... So I'm relying on you guys. Now, this one I've definitely not shown on the channel because I got this only last month and really enjoy this. It's really good fun, nice and short. I think it's one of those sort of 7-inch recordings they've just re-put out on tape. So it's a nice little blasty gore grind split between Gourmet and Haggus. So really cool stuff, put out by Grindfather Productions and Fuck Your Life Records. I'm assuming they did the 7-inch. Grindfather Productions did the tape. That's usually how these things go, I think. But yeah, this is a gruesome buffet of human decay. And yeah, really good fun. You get 2 tracks by Haggus, which are the usual kind of Haggus garb, you know, kind of catchy but heavy and fast for the most part, and just very consistent band. I think again, Haggus, you know, they're one of those that I think I haven't got all their stuff, but all the stuff of theirs I've heard, yeah, I've really liked, and I'll probably keep getting more of their stuff. And Gourmet, they're great fun. They're a bit more noise orientated as far as their sort of gore grind kind of sound goes, but they've still got that sort of mincecore kind of thing about them as well, which is always fun. And they've got 7 tracks on this one, so nice. Again, fasty, blasty, ever so nasty. It's just the way they do things, and they've got great track titles. I mean, every bun should be grilled. You know, rapid development and asphyxiation on a bus full of passengers. Mentally burgered. Necrotic picnic action. Bread shell rise. Grated, melted, and dropped in a parking lot. And battered beyond recognition. So it's just food puns for days. They love it. And because the other record I've got by Gourmet is their 7-inch The Blast Supper. But I think I've got that on tape actually as well. Have I got that one on tape? Have you got, you bastard? Yeah, maybe, is that it? Yeah, it is over there, yeah, the Blast Supper. Yeah, so, yeah, I think I've only got the tape actually. I think I wanted to get the 7-inch, but, yeah, I missed it. You get the really cool blue MC in here. So I do like the MC tapes, yeah, what they're known as, you know, music cassettes. But, you know, that sort of nice hard shell on there. But I dig the classic sort of dual cassettes as well with the see-throughness. They're all cool. I like them. They're great fun. Now, this next one's a double whammy, because this is a double album as such, and this is a compilation series. And this did come in a box set thing, but that's around here somewhere because the tapes fit. They just go with the other tapes. So the box is around here somewhere, probably up there where I usually keep them. But either way, heading over to old Brazil area because we're talking about Hell Whipper. And we're not Hell Whipper, fucking idiot. We're talking, it's not even a band. We're talking about Whipstriker from Brazil. And this is their 7 inches of fucking, yeah, Hell Part 1 and 2. Which is really cool. You get 50 tracks all together, and they are bangers as well. Loads of covers among them. Fucking Hell Whipper. Sound like I'm talking about a Scottish band with a fucking speech impediment. Like Jonathan Ross's favourite fucking black metal band. So here we go, one-man project. As such, you know, he's like the main guy, but I think there's like, you know, he has like mates filling with like instruments and shit. But you get loads of covers on these things. You've got the one by GBH, Hellhammer, Venom, Disclose. And what's cool about these ones is that it's not the ones that like are always covered as well. Like the Venom track on here, you know, it's not Countess Bathory. Yeah, it's or Possessed. It's Stand Up and Be Counted, which is, you know, not my favourite Venom song by any stretch. It's not one of the really bad ones either. But I don't know. This guy just sort of makes it a bit crustier, because this is definitely like sort of like crusty black metal, like speed metal sort of thing going on. Very like very much kind of like Bathory worship, not clone by any stretch, but like a Bathory pie with extra thick crust, you know. So it's definitely got the more the vocals are definitely more towards the yobbish than they are the sort of cultish sort of thing going on. But yeah, you get over on this first one, you get like an hour and 6 minutes worth of music. So that's really, really cool. You get 26 tracks on this one, and it's got some absolute bangers on there. I mean, the opener, Her Fire, Hellfire, is a really, really good one. And oh, let me see some of the others as well. I mean, they're just absolute powers on here. Black Rose Kill, that's a really good one. Really catchy. Queen of the Iron Whip. Yeah, just fucking. There are some really bad, banging ones on there. Oh, Bomb Storm, Outlaw Rules, The Excess as well. There's 3 in a row there that are really good. I mean, they're all good. But yeah, so I was really, really pleased to pick that up because I hadn't really heard them, and I saw it was on sale. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty interesting. I'll check them out. And I was like, well, I'm clearly fucking buying that now then. And I'm really glad I did, because these are absolutely banging songs. I mean, another one last look at that artwork there. They've got something going on. They've got some sort of like zombie Jesus kind of stuff happening. But yeah, if you like your Motorhead, you could sort of Discharge and like a Bathory, you know, that kind of ilk, then yes, Brazil's Whipstriker is going to do it for you. I think I showed one of their splits on here before with Hate Them All. That's a really good split too. And on this one over here, you get 24 tracks, and you get some more covers on here as well. This time you get Angel Dust by Venom. You get Armageddon by Bathory. The Impaler by Apocalyptic Raids. Infernal Tempest, which is a Warhammer cover. And then it closes on this song called Goat Sacrifice. It's an original piece, but it is absolute Bathory worship, just through and through. So you get 24 tracks on here, and this one runs at 1 hour and 17 minutes. So between the two, you've got nearly 2.5 hours worth of really cool Blackened Crust, which is just absolutely naughty. With like, it's like fucking Blackened Crust for petrol heads. It's just absolutely naughty stuff. Really, really cool. And so get those two together. The whole lot is on Spotify in 2 parts, and I think it's all on YouTube as well. But if you can get hold of the actual like tapes or CDs or whatever it is that they've got out there, I very much recommend it. This is one of the best bands I think that come out in the past. Well, who knows how long? They're just fucking brilliant. You know, it just scratches all the itches. If you just hearing is believing. Whipstriker, 7 Inches of Hell, part 1 and 2. Make it so. Obviously, it's called that because it's all their 7-inch material from that point, like splits, demos. Get the full demo on here, which is great. I think I shared that the other day on possibly, yeah, I can't remember, but definitely worth making happen. So that's B-side Saturday this week. What did you listen to this week? Put it in the comments underneath. Did you listen to anything I listened to? Was there some crossover? And is there anything you think I should be checking out? And yeah, get back to me what you think. Should we stick to this, the posters, switch it up every now and then, depending on the mood? Who knows? But yeah, support the underground in your local record store. Check the description box. See if you can get your copy of Grindslime Magazine Issue 1. Links are in there in the description. Emails there if you want to get in touch with the show about something. Who knows what it is? But as long as it's not bollocks, I don't want to go into my emails and just find, hi, how you doing? Or do you think trash could smell? And it's just, fuck off. I don't need any of that stuff. But if you've got genuine cool shit, you let a man know. So yeah, until then, catch you on the flip side. Latest taters.